Hey, welcome to the Broken Bar. Now today we're gonna make a drink that I think is an underrated modern classic. And it happens to be one of those drinks that's just perfect to sip on during the fleeting days of summer. The drink's called the Expat. Now this cocktail is a shake and drink, so you're gonna need your mixing tin or pint glass, just like I'm using here. And we're just gonna start by adding some ingredients. So the first thing that you're gonna need is going to be whiskey, and particularly this drink is made with bourbon. I'm using Buffalo Trace today, just because I figured I'd use the one bourbon I can't really get my hands on, but you could use any bourbon that you like. In fact, why don't you let me know down in the comments below what your favorite bourbon is, just because I'm kind of curious, you know, the bourbon that you use on any occasion for any cocktail. Anyway, we're gonna add 2 ounces of bourbon. So we'll start there. And then we're gonna move on to some acid. So we're gonna need a fresh lime here. Kind of interesting because a lot of bourbon drinks use lemon, but this is one of those drinks that's using lime, and that's not something that you see very often. So let's see if I've got enough juice in here. And no, this lime is terrible, and I have a backup just in case. We're gonna go ahead and squeeze out what we can. And we are looking for 1 full ounce of lime juice. Next, we will go ahead and balance that off. So you're gonna need some sugar. This is simple syrup. This is a 1-to-1 simple syrup. We're gonna add 3/4 of an ounce of our simple syrup. And then we will move on to the next ingredient, which is going to be bitters. And specifically, this recipe calls for Angostura Bitters. We're gonna go ahead and add in 2 dashes of Angostura. It's gonna give the drink quite a bit of color too. And well, we'll go ahead and get this sharp object out of the way first. The last ingredient is going to be fresh mint. This is gonna help to brighten the cocktail up a little bit. It's gonna give it that, you know, summery pop. We're looking for just the leaves here, and we want maybe 5 to 6 mint leaves. So we'll go ahead and give them a little smack just to release the oils and drop them right in. So that's all the ingredients that go in here. We're just gonna go ahead and add some ice, and then we'll give it a quick shake. There we go. And we're looking for about 8 to 10 seconds. That should probably get this nice and diluted. Right. That open. This glass on tin's a little harder to open than the tin on tin, but I like to use the pint glasses just so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So, we usually serve this thing in a coupe. I suppose you could serve it over rocks, but I like it in a coupe, and that's a little bit more common. So I've got my coupe glass here, and we're gonna use a double strainer just to make sure we don't get any little mint leaves in there. And just strain the cocktail off. There we go. And that looks good. Now, as far as a garnish goes, it's just mint. So I don't like to use like a big bouquet in cocktails that are served up. Sometimes I put the mint leaf on the edge of the glass, but this one, I think we just give it a little pop, and then we'll just drop it right on top of the drink. Gives it a little bit of contrast. You get that mint right in your nose. Anyway, that's it, guys. That is the Expat cocktail. Let's go ahead and see how we did. Okay, so, you know, the first thing you get is that mint that kind of hits you in the nose right at the top. It's a sour style drink. You know, you have that lime and that sugar balancing off, but it doesn't feel like an average whiskey sour. There's just a lot more depth of flavor. The Angostura gives it like this warming aspect. It feels summery, like a summery drink, but because of that bitters that's in there, it actually kind of warms it up, and it makes it feel like, you know, autumn's on the way. So that's why I think it's the perfect sipper for, you know, the end of summer. Anyway, guys, that's it. This is the Expat. I hope you give one a shot. Again, let me know down in the bottom if you do anything different with this. Especially, you know, what kind of bourbon would you use if you were gonna make an Expat? I went with the Buffalo Trace, but there's a lot of different bourbons out there. Anyway, until next time, we are on to the next drink. So cheers from the Broken Bar.